Happy day students, welcome to SAN Academy Pallikaranai. This is part 2 video of the lesson class 8 history chapter 8 civilizing the native, educating the nation. Now let us see what are all the grave errors of the East. From the early 19th century, many British officials began to criticize the Orientalist vision of learning. They said that knowledge of the East was full of errors and unscientific thought. Eastern literature was non-serious and light-hearted, so they argued that it was wrong on the part of the British to spend so much effort in encouraging the study of Arabic and Sanskrit language and literature. Persons against Orientalism. James Mill was one of those who attacked the Orientalist. The British effort, he declared, should not be to teach what the natives wanted or what they respected in order to please them and win a place in their heart. The aim of education ought to be to teach what was useful and practical. So, Indians should be made familiar with the scientific and technical advances that the West had made rather than with the poetry and sacred literature of the Orient. By the 1830s, the attack on the Orientalist became sharper. Thomas Babington Macaulay saw India as an uncivilized country that needed to be civilized. No branch of Eastern knowledge, according to him, could be compared to what England had produced. With great energy and passion, Macaulay emphasized the need to teach the English language. He felt that knowledge of English would allow Indians to read some of the finest literature the world had produced. It would make them aware of the developments in Western science and philosophy. Following Macaulay's minute, the English Education Act of 1835 was introduced. The decision was to make English the medium of instruction for higher education and to stop the promotion of Oriental institutions like the Calcutta, Madrasa and Benares Sanskrit College. These institutions were seen as temples of darkness that were falling of themselves into decay. English textbooks now began to be produced for schools. Now let us see about the education for commerce. It was in the year 1854 the Court of Directors of the East India Company in London sent an educational dispatch to the Governor General in India. Issued by Charles Wood, the President of the Board of Control of the company, it has come to be known as Wood's Dispatch. One of the practical uses the dispatch pointed to was economic. European learning, it said, would enable Indians to recognize the advantages that flow from the expansion of trade and commerce and make them see the importance of developing the resources of the country. In 1857, universities were being established in Calcutta, Madras and Bombay. Attempts were also made to bring about changes within the system of school education.